welcome back to Goodnight, Lighthouse. I'm Miss Dorothy, and I'm here to read you another bedtime story. And I've got one that you're gonna love. It involves two things that I know you like. One, Pete the cat. Everybody loves Pete the cat. And number two, superheroes. We love superheroes. So how can we not love this book when it's called Pete the Cat, Super Pete? I didn't know Pete was a superhero, but that's what it says. Pete the Cat, Super Pete. In this book, we find out that Pete the Cat turns into a superhero, and he goes out and fights crime and catches bad guys and does all the things that superheroes do. I wonder if we're going to catch a bad guy in this book. Well, we're going to have to get into the book and find out. So you ready to get into a superhero, Super Pete the Cat book with Miss Dorothy? Good. I need you to sit up and listen up, because here we go. Pete the Cat, Super Pete, by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete the Cat is out for a walk. Pete listens to the owls. He listens to the frogs. Just then, Pete hears a beep. It's not coming from outside. It's coming from his watch. Look, his watch is beeping and it says, "Alert!" Pete races home. It's time for Pete the Cat to become Super Pete. Pete presses a button in his room. The wall slides away. Pete sees a set of steps. Down, down, down he goes. Pete steps into his lair. It's full of groovy things to help him fight crime. Wow, there's a crime computer and a sign with the bad guy's picture on it, and all kinds of stuff. Pete the Cat puts on his awesome cat suit. He puts on his cape and his sneakers. Now Super Pete is ready to save the city. Pete is a superhero. Pete sees a flashing light. There is a message on his computer. It is the mayor. It says, "Help." "Come quick, Super Pete," the mayor says. "We need your help. There is trouble at the warehouse." Oh no. Pete pulls a lever. Whoosh! Pete's nifty jet sinks into his lair. Pete hops into the jet. He zips into the air. Super Pete is on his way to save the day. Wow, he's got his own jet plane. Pete races through the sky. He hits a button. The jet shimmers. The jet disappears. Now the jet is invisible. No one will know Super Pete is coming. Pete hovers over the warehouse. He straps on a parachute. He jumps. Wow, he jumped out of the plane. Pete lands on the roof. He goes inside the warehouse. It is dark. He cannot see. Pete puts on his night vision goggles. He sees two bad guys. They are carrying a box. Pete picks up a rock. He puts it in his slingshot. The rock hits the box. Good shot, Super Pete. The bad guys drop the box. They climb out a window. Oh no, they're getting away. Pete races to the window. The bad guys have a boat. They are getting away. Pete pushes a button on his cat suit. His sneakers turn to flippers. A mask closes over his face. Pete jumps into the water. He swims after the bad guys. Wow, he must swim really fast. Pete takes a rope from his pocket. He twirls it over his head. Pete aims. He throws. The rope catches the boat. Yay, Pete! Pete pulls himself along the rope. Pete climbs into the bad guy's boat. He ties up the bad guys. Good job, Pete. Pete pushes a button on his watch. His jet appears above him. Pete pulls the bad guys into his jet. He's taking them away. Pete brings the bad guys to the mayor. Super Pete saved the day! Yay! Hooray for Super Pete! Look at that! Pete caught the bad guys! He was a superhero! He was regular Pete, and then he got a phone call, and there was a problem, and he went and took care of it, caught the bad guys, took them to the mayor, and saved the town. What a great adventure Pete the Cat went on tonight. I didn't even know Pete was a superhero, but he sure was, because he was brave tonight, and he did the job that needed to be done. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad we found out that Pete was a superhero. I'm glad we found out by reading this book together. But now it's time for all my little superheroes to fly off into bed. I need you to get under your covers, get cuddled up, curled up, ready for a really good night's sleep. And tomorrow, when you're saving the town and having your adventures just like Pete the Cat, obey and obey right away. And then come back and see Miss Dorothy. I'm going to be sitting right here, ready to read another book to you. Bye! Thanks for reading with Miss Dorothy. I hope you enjoyed this book, and I hope you'll come back soon to read another. What's your favorite book? Drop Miss Dorothy a note and let me know. I'll go find it, and I'll read it to you. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you soon.